All roads lead to the vein.
What's up, everyone? Brad Chmielewski here. This is episode 102 of Shatter The Vain. That's a mouthful now. I think we need to just figure out, maybe I shouldn't even say numbers, or we should just start back over. Episode 2. I like that when they changed their format, they changed it to season 2, so they were going 201. So that's even worse. So getting into the hundreds, it's a mess, but hopefully everyone's been liking these episodes lately. I know that patch 1.18 rundown came out a little later maybe than I liked, but traveling, Memorial Day, things like that, summer, there's so much to do. You got to get outside. You can't be playing the game as much. But this weekend, the NA Live Championships were going on. Next weekend is the EU Championships. I recorded this episode on the first day, on the Friday of the live championships, so there's no spoilers in this episode. For anyone that didn't watch it or really doesn't care about the esports scene, we don't dive into it very much. I got V joining me. I'm going to call him V because I do not know how to say his name correctly, even though he told me multiple times. Check him out. Check out TeamBeta. Find out what got him into creating content, running a guild, just getting into the game in general. And then we also talk about some of the changes that we've seen in 1.18, who's strong right now, who's kind of falling away still. Man, I've been seeing so much Sky. It's crazy out there right now. And then we talk about Vainglory is going to be kind of at E3 for the Samsung Galaxy showdown that they're doing with Hunters, TSM, Invincible Armada. It should be a really fun event to watch. And then I think on episode 103, we'll probably be going over some of the EU championships and NA things like that. So hopefully I'm able to get maybe one of the winners on, one of the teams on. I still need to get Gangstars Cerberus on. Being in Gangstars, you'd think I'd be able to lock them down a little easier, but that whole time change and them focusing on the live championships here is a little tough, so maybe I'll get them afterwards. So keep an eye out for that. But let's do it. Let's jump into episode 102.
Shatter the Vain, a podcast about Vainglory.
This is the 102nd episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, I try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, bringing on new people from the community to help me go over all the news, all the fun stuff happening in this game. And this week, I feel like I'm going to mess up the name. Is it Vystirch?
It's Vystirch.
Vystirch.
Hi, guys.
Oh, man. Welcome. I feel like I should have asked that before we started recording this. But
It's okay. Most people call me Vis or just V. Okay. You can choose whichever.
I like V. That's super simple. Go with that.
There you go.
Oh, welcome. Great to have you on. We've been kind of chatting a little bit online for a while now, so it's nice to finally have you here. But for people that don't know who you are or haven't heard of you, you want to introduce yourself? Let them know.
So my name's Vystirch. I started playing season 2 is when I seriously started playing Vainglory. I downloaded the game when it first came out, but never really got into it until recently.
Okay.
And I slowly have climbed the ranked ladder. Tier 4 first season, Tier 7 next season, and this season I'm POA Silver.
Nice. Okay. Were you playing other MOBAs beforehand, or was this kind of your first dive into it?
No, I played League beforehand. I was also one of 3 alpha testers for Call of Champions, which is another MOBA. It's not as big as Vainglory, but they tried to make their mark.
They tried. Yeah.
They did try. I'll give them that.
So you already had the MOBA ideas. So moving up in rank,
yeah,
makes.
It wasn't really that much of a transition for me. I pretty much ignored the tutorial and tried to get past it as quickly as I could so I
Okay.
could start playing the actual game. And then for a while there, some of you might have known me as running the Fortress VG. It was an interview website that I was doing, but that was before I decided I was going to go back to college.
Okay.
And so then it's one of the hats I took off now that I'm attending college again this fall. I'll be going for a communications degree, hoping to do something maybe event management or PR-wise.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so the Fortress blog, you had done a few interviews. You had interviewed Sixes and Sevens, who was on the last episode about that noble wicket change. So,
Yeah.
were you doing other blogs, or was this kind of just their thought and venture into this like content creation for Vainglory?
I've always been involved in content creation for whatever game I've been involved in. Mostly it's been guide creation. And then I've always been kind of a spearhead in the community as to bringing forward opinions towards whatever company the game is involved in.
Okay.
For example, I have over multiple game accounts. I have over 5,000 forum posts.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah, I make my opinion known. And so, yeah, for Vainglory, I did that for a little bit. I took that hat off because of college, but I also have written one guide for Vainglory Fire, which is my Weapon Power Fortress Bouncing Snarl guide.
Okay.
It's currently sitting as the #2 guide for Fortress.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, yeah, I had a lot of fun into that. I'm going to update it sometime in the next 2 weeks for the upcoming patch.
Nice. I might have to check that out. Give it a try.
Yeah, you better know how to kite, otherwise you're not going to do well at it.
Okay. All right. But then most recently, you've joined or you helped start up TeamBeta, right?
Correct. I was in Synergy before TeamBeta, but I felt like TeamBeta would be a better platform to be able to be involved in the community. So I said my goodbyes to Synergy,
Okay.
And made my way over to TeamBeta. No hard feelings anywhere. Originally, I was just the creative lead of TeamBeta, but now I'm also the co-leader right next to Storm. So I'm serving as the co-leader and creative lead. And we have an art contest going right now, which is kind of a concept art contest. All we're asking is for people to submit entries of either Lance or Lyra, and whatever form or function that they think they can serve. Comics, graphic rendered designs, painting, sketches, anything. We accept it all. And we have the top 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000 ice for the top 3.
Nice. Okay.
So if you got some skills in those fingers, put them to use.
Yeah, not a bad thing. There's so many people doing fan art right now for Vainglory, so it's a great contest. Have you been getting some good entries?
We've got some pretty good Lyra entries. I haven't seen any Lance entries coming yet, but I'm hoping you guys get those entries flowing in.
Right, because that goes until, June 11th is when the application...
The 11th is when we're going to probably stop accepting entries. And then shortly after that, we're going to, TeamBeta is going to choose the top 10. And then we're going to let the community vote on who they think are the top 3. And then we will announce the winners and highlight some of our favorites.
Nice. So TeamBeta is pretty new. Do you want to tell me a little bit about them? I barely know about them except through you, I guess, and through some other people.
TeamBeta is fairly new. I would say I would date it maybe 3 months back.
Okay.
But it's run by Storm, who was the original mastermind behind Vendetta Rogues, which was kind of a organization that tried to shed light on smaller guilds to bring them into the scene.
Right.
whether because most of the time it's just competitive guilds that get the spotlight. So just community guilds, just guilds that were there to have fun. That's what its goal was. And he threw off that mask, and now he's operating TeamBeta, which we are fielding one competitive team to see how far we can go with it. But the main purpose of TeamBeta is to be community oriented, bring players from all skill tiers, and have the higher skill tiers teach the lower skill tiers. And what we want to do is promote content creation and be a machine for the VG community.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's very cool. How many people are in the guild at the moment?
Last I looked, we were sitting at mid-20s.
Okay.
In the guild. Most of those are just people who want to be part of the family.
Sure.
And help grind the guild rank up. And then we have five or six people who are involved in different ways in our competitive team, which is named Beta Instinct. And then there's a council of 5 of us who really try to spearhead our vision of being involved in the VG community. Okay. That would be Storm and me as the leaders. And then there's Dill, COCOCO, and Trinormio, who are going to be helping us out with just brainstorming.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like most people just want to play the game and are fine like grinding fame, like finding those people that like to make content and want to do something else besides play the game is like far in between.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with people that want to play the game. It's a fun game to play, so there's no reason.
Exactly. A majority of our members totally just play the game and grind out the guild XP. Yeah. But we do want to welcome and promote those. Like we have 2 streamers, Omniphobia and T-Dog Kliss, are 2 sponsored streamers that are in our guild that play VG. We just want to promote as much as we can, try and incorporate all skill tiers together.
Nice. Okay. And so if people want to find out more, it's what, TeamBetaVG.com?
TeamBetaVG.com. Awesome. Or you can find us on Twitter at TeamBetaVG.
Awesome. Well, check that out. I'll include a link in the show notes for anyone that's looking into that. So there's also been 1.18 got released this past week. Should we jump in to some of those changes and what we've been seeing over these last, I guess, week and a half now?
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Vainglory News.
So yeah, it was Wednesday of last week of May, 1.18 dropped, and with it we got Lance, we got Chess, we got Quest, we got all these balance changes to different heroes. I did a rundown with 6s and 7s that went up last week, so if anyone's looking to go over those changes, check that out, or read the patch notes. They're always really good to check out. But how's 1.18 been for you? You been playing Lance at all?
I have played Lance. He's not my typical... I'm a roam main, so I play support all the time. Okay. But he's not my typical support. I prefer the more squishy support that it's do or die. And so I'm looking more forward to Lyra. Okay. But the playmaking with Lance is definitely hard to ignore, so I do play him.
Yeah, he's so tanky. Like the people that have run like Arden Lance comps or things like that, or Arden or like all support comps, it's like you guys, they're hard to kill. I don't. Sometimes
they're hard to kill. They are. Yeah, and then basically how you counter that is with something with I can't remember, Mortal Wounds or something. So people like Taka and Fortress counter that because they reduce healing. I've played him a few times. He is fun to play, and people that I've played with him on my team, and when he just like saves your ass as you're like running away and he Githian walls them back, it's like, yeah, thank you. Yeah. He's also pretty good as a carry. Oh, okay.
as in the lane, or you've been trying him in jungle, or seeing him in jungle?
He works really well weapon power lane.
Okay.
And then he can do both either in the jungle. He can do both in the jungle.
Okay.
Both CP and weapon power.
See, I haven't even like risked that yet to go through it and dive in.
I love off meta, so I'm always playing off meta.
Okay.
Much to the chagrin of my solo queue partners.
Right. Have to mute everyone because they're ping spamming you the whole time.
Yeah, it's most often I mute them before they even start.
But how these quests and chests have been awesome. I know I've already had like a ridiculous amount of glory, but the amount of glory I have now is like, it's just silly. I don't know. So the chests were very cool. And did you get some goodies out of it?
I did get some goodies. I really enjoyed opening the level 1 through 20 when I first logged in. It felt like, I think someone on Twitter, I can't remember, said this is a patch where CMEC celebrates players. And I think that's a really good way of describing it. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that they're just keeping us involved in the game and not just pumping out content so that we can buy it.
Right. Because we saw a few things. People were complaining for a while there that Super Evil was all about esports and not about the community, and this was a very good community gesture of like, hey, don't just have free stuff. Like, like calm down. We're working on things. Take this.
Yeah, and it's totally viable to play as a freemium player. Like, I just recently dropped 40k glory and got tier 3 Finn completely free.
Nice. Very cool. I really like these the quests too. I've played a lot of other games, especially Blizzard games. I've had these for a while. The quests where you have to do 3 of one thing or do this and you are rewarded for it. It's a great mechanic to make you continue to play and want to play over again, and then play different stuff too. I know right now the quests are pretty small. They're like play Battle Royale, play 2 ranked games, but hopefully as the hero pool expands, it's like play 3 games as an assassin, things like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I do like it because it does force me to, it doesn't really force me, but it helps me consider that there's something besides the ranked queue that I can play in, and it prevents me from being as salty as often. Right,
yeah. I finally opened all my chests. I think I mentioned on another video or something that I was waiting, and like whenever I was having a bad game or whenever I felt like I needed a reward, I'd be like, all right, I get a chest.
That's nice. That's a good idea.
Because it was so easy to like blaze through all 20 of them, and then you're like, maybe I should hold off a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. I just blazed through them all.
Anything else coming out of 1.18 as the meta starts to finally like solidify? I've been seeing a lot of Skye, possibly because of the skins, but I think she's just like incredibly strong this update.
Yeah, Skye has been ridiculous for quite a while, actually. Her maneuverability around a team fight is insane. Even heroes who are equally as maneuverable, such as Blackfeather, have trouble with Skye. It's kind of ridiculous. It requires team play on your team's part to counter her, but Skye does not need to have any team play to just wreck you.
No, a good Skye can destroy the team 1v3.
Yes.
I love seeing it happen. I don't like being on the receiving end, but I like to see it happen.
Yes.
And then still seeing like so many of the Adagio and Blackfeather bans and Glaive bans. Like this patch, although we did see a lot of tweaks, it almost just feels like an extension of 1.7. All the like alpha, when I see her, she does really well. I think people are still afraid to play her and understand the kit right. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Like I haven't even dived into her. I think because it is a little confusing.
It is a confusing kit, and I actually have a lot of trouble playing. I guess it's a her.
Yeah, it's her.
Playing her. I have no idea how to play her, so I just let other people play her and hope that they're good with her, because I'm clueless on her.
Yeah, I think I just need to dedicate a casual queue night and just play alpha and figure out how to use that kit, and then I think I will understand how to counter it too when I run into it.
Yeah, there's like 3 characters I don't play. I don't play Ringo.
Okay.
I don't play Taka, and I don't play her.
Play alpha.
So
Okay.
that's, I don't know. I suck at stutter stepping, I guess.
And then how's Fortress been for you? And I'm sure you're a big fan of Fortress. So how's
I'm a huge fan of Fortress. I play him CP, weapon power, roam, lane, jungle, anywhere. And if I can get my hands on Fortress, I'm gonna wreck you. That's pretty much my story. I worked my way all the way up to POA Silver playing Fortress, and it was mostly solo queue.
Okay. Nice.
There was a patch where he was ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
And so I kind of milked that, but I still play Fortress. So yeah, I really enjoy Fortress, and it's amazing how hard hitting he can be at any point of the game, just depending how you build him.
Do you think that base damage hurt him at all? Like that was his max was brought down a little bit, but really he wasn't
Base damage just brought down the early game pressure from a weapon power Fortress, because it was ridiculous on a weapon power Fortress in the early game. You just Law of the Claw someone, they'd bleed, and you'd bite them to death in like 3 hits.
Yeah.
Which is what you see from a CP Fortress, but weapon power could do it, and weapon power actually builds into late game really well. Like you will hit harder than a Black Feather late game.
Okay. So you think he's still in a good place? We said earlier, like with the tank killing mortal wounds abilities, like he's in a lot of games. I see.
Yes, he and his attack of the pack applies mortal wounds. His wolves apply his basic. Well, they apply the effects of his basic attacks, but they have their own damage that they do.
Okay.
So they apply the slow that you get from, from Law of the Claw, and then they'll chunk you. So that's why he's so powerful, is because those wolves will also do the same damage. He's often a really good pairing with someone squishy like a Scarf, because when you're playing a Scarf, Scarf needs a ton of peeling.
Right.
Those pups will peel off the Scarf for you, and the pups will track a Taka or a Kestrel when they're invisible. Right. So it's just it counters so much.
Nice. Okay. So continue to play Fortress for all the fans out there in 1.18.
Play Fortress. Fortress love. # Fortress love.
Yeah, so a lot of fun change. Still playing through everyone. It's been great. The skins today, as we're recording this, Celeste Tier 3 finally was available to everyone.
Yep.
The skin is pretty awesome. Like, I love the splash art on it, and all the particles are great. I think it was last month, or the last patch, I kind of complained about not having the skins all right away. And then I was thinking about this earlier today, that I kind of like the every week new skins, because you almost have a new thing to look forward to every week in this update. It's not like, I got everything I want, screw it, when's the next update?
It's true. The only reason I don't like it is because I tend to drop ice.
Okay.
And so if I drop ice, I just want to buy the Tier 3 skin instead of have to wait 3 weeks till I can get it.
Yeah, but then you have that thing to look forward to. But yeah, I understand that. Like,
there's no looking forward to. There's just drooling.
But this skin, it's Tier 3, so it does take, like I said, a bunch of ice, or maybe a bunch of glory that you got from all your boxes, but
40K glory is what it takes to buy a tier 3 without any ice.
40K. Okay, good to know for everyone out there. I like the skin, but I think I'd like the seasonal Halloween skin a little more, just personally.
I don't have it. I don't have either of the Halloweens. I have all the rest of the seasonals. But I missed out on those Halloweens because I missed those. I think it was that first season.
Came just right after, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll do a sale or reissue them later on.
I'm hoping. I really don't want the Celeste one. It's the Petal one I want.
Okay. See, no one wanted the Petal when it came out.
I play a lot of Petal.
Okay.
I play a lot of Petal.
Makes sense. So yeah, just look for that skin in game by a lot of people. I have a video up as well of a gameplay with it, so it's a cool skin. But yeah, so that's 1.18 right now. I know we're still getting used to all the characters and all the changes, and then the NA Live Championships are happening, and they're playing on 1.17. So you have to like think about that as you're watching this. That okay, it's not my game they're playing on. It's the previous one they're playing on. But we did talk about how 1.17 does seem like or 1.18 seems like an extension of 1.18. So what you see them doing in the live championships, you could probably still carry over into this update.
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like 1.17 was Glaive's patch. In my book, it's Glaive's patch.
Okay.
I feel like he had a resurgence back into meta. Just as really strong because he had the added CC that would be able to help take down the popular picks like a Black Feather or a Sky. But it was a mobility patch, and Glaive countered the mobility.
I think we're in kind of a tank patch here now.
Yeah, we're switching more over to tank meta right now, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, so. I hate tank metas in League and Heroes of the Storm. Those are the worst ones to play and watch because no one dies. So
yeah, it's you're just rushing armor pierce right off the bat, and then it's not fun, and you still can't kill them with armor pierce.
But the live championships are happening. Since we're recording this on Friday, there was only one day, so we can't even spoil for anyone that was watching or not watching. So yeah, if you had a chance to watch those, I'm sure they were all great games. I have to talk in the past tense now because this comes out after they're all done. But then the EU Live Championships are the following weekend, so you can kind of get ready for those. I believe those are also on 1.17. It's cool. Are you rooting for anybody? Do you watch the competitive scene that often?
I do watch when I have a chance. I've been really busy the past 2 weeks getting ready to take my trip out of state. But I don't really root for a team.
Okay.
There are certain teams I like to see play because I like what they do. Like Team Secret, I love to watch because they always pull something new out of their hat. They have a really big hat. And they're just always off meta. Like playing Scarf Jungle or a Lane Finn or something like that. It's just really awesome. And I'm totally about the off meta.
Okay.
And then Gangstars is always fun to watch because it's high level gameplay. I'm also, if I had to choose a team to root for, I really do like Noble Esports. I know 6s and 7s pretty well, and he's just a cool guy. And I really like all the members of their competitive team.
Yeah, there's so many like good people. It's hard to like root for someone. I want to see Nemesis and Hardic and Lost Boy like have their day in the sun here and finally like get past the third, fourth place match there. Great players all around. So it's always fun to see them pull out some stuff. And they've been playing on this patch for a while, so it's probably some great games. And then you mentioned Gangstars. They've been playing in the VIPL. Unfortunately, they lost their semifinals match, so they're playing for third place now. So that's a little bit of a disappointment not to bring that NA trophy back home. But the VIPL is interesting to watch because it is other players and teams from different regions, and you kind of get a sense of like how they play and what kind of crazy comps that they think are strong or what they might work. So.
Yeah, crossing those metas from different regions is really fun to watch, and you can kind of see what metas counter other metas. And if you watch these sort of meshing of regions, it kind of becomes apparent why certain metas evolve into other ones, and why all regions are kind of on a different clock per se. And it's kind of just fun to watch that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's like usually in like League of Legends, it's usually like the Korean teams and players are like a step, 2 steps quicker, and then like NA kind of picks it up, and then EU trickles, like it kind of works that way, oddly.
Yes, yeah.
I think right now in Vainglory, it's usually NA's picking it up first, and then EU, and then Korea and the other regions, because we've been playing the game for the longest.
Yeah, we have been playing the game for the longest, which I would hope that we'd be at the top because of that. And so we're still holding that top spot. Have to ward off those Koreans for now before they take over our ranked scene.
But yeah, so check out VIPL games. They happen kind of weird dates. I don't really have a schedule because they are kind of at off hours, but Vainglory is always good about tweeting them out and posting them in games, so check those out. And then speaking of regions meshing and everything, Vainglory announced this new Vainglory International tournament thing they're doing at E3 in LA, coming up in a couple weekends here. It'll be from Tuesday, June 14th to Thursday, June 16th. And they invited 4 teams. They invited TSM, G2 Esports from Europe, Hunters from China, and Invincible Armada from Korea. So these 4 teams are going to battle it out over Wednesday, Thursday, and I think just Wednesday and Thursday, and battle it out for the title. I don't know how they pick these teams or why they pick these teams. I think they could have just been the teams available at the time.
Yeah, like I've never heard of Hunters, so.
Hunters is in the VIPL. It's with the Queen. Right, yeah.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, like the main.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing's ringing a bell.
All right, but these will be played at the Samsung booth. So Vainglory doesn't have a booth, but they teamed up with Samsung. I wonder if they're going to have to play on Samsung tablets and devices, because I don't know that many people that don't play on a iOS device.
Yeah, the NVIDIA Shield is pretty popular.
Right.
That's the only other one I hear about.
So I think that would be that could be interesting to see, just a device change up. Like, here's your, I don't know, whatever the new Samsung tablet or phone might be.
I have no clue. I'm on iOS too, so.
Yeah. I think it's whatever the Galaxy is. I think that's. But yeah, check this out. I think they're going to stream them on the Twitch channel. So it should be good. Always, fun seeing TSM and these other teams battle it out. And then they're doing like a community versus community battle royale tournament between that. So I think it'll just be a fun event at the Samsung booth. I don't know that anyone can go to E3 that's not like a journalist now. So it's a weird event from what I hear. But that out. And then the last bit of news before we wrap up the news section is the free hero rotation. I always like to mention that, just not everyone has all the characters, all the heroes. You may have more now from those quests and the chests, but still probably missing a few. And I think this free rotation is pretty nice. You get Blackfeather, you get Glaive, Petal, Sky, Alpha, and Kashka. Kashka is probably the only one you're not going to need to play in 1.18.
Kashka is really weak this patch. And so BF, strong anywhere except Rome. It's kind of ridiculous playing Rome. It can't be done.
Yeah, it doesn't work out.
What was the second one?
Glaive,
uber strong. Like I said, 1.17 was his patch because he counters mobility so well. So if you see the enemy team picking up something like a Sky or a BF, look towards that glaive. Third one was
We got
Petal.
Petal, yeah.
Petal counters Sky. Petal gets wrecked by BF. Petal also counters Glaive.
Counters Glaive, yeah.
Petal is really off meta. Like, no one plays her, but she counters all of the meta picks right now. So if you're looking to have some fun in solo queue, try picking up that Petal and just learning her, because she's pretty strong against all the meta picks right now.
And then mute everyone after you pick her, because they're gonna get mad at you.
Mute everyone unless you have some sort of skin that says you know something about her. What was the fourth one?
Then Sky, who's
Sky, yep.
Top pick right now.
Top pick right now.
And then Alpha, who we were saying neither one of us play very well, and I think
I cannot help you with Alpha.
Here's the time to learn. She's in the free hero rotation. You could make a new account, try her out, whatever you need to do.
Make a new account. Don't want my name associated with these bad plays.
Log out. You're on a guest account. You can play Alpha. No one will know. I think you have to play the bots and stuff first, but yeah, you can play Alpha. You can practice on the bots. Figure out that kit. But yeah, Kashka, everyone's probably already played her. You don't need to play her right now. She's not going to carry any games in this patch.
Kashka can be a decent pick this patch as a roam, because she does have that hard CC that you can lock down like a Sky or a BF or a Glaive, and follow it up with another CC. I would not play her as a carry right now. It's just too hard to get down any empowered autos before you get melted.
Yeah.
Because you don't really have really good mobility.
Sure. So try these people out. There's a link in the notes if you want to look at it again. But that's all for the news. I wanted to do a random item.
Random item.
So every now and then, just like to talk about a different item. A lot of us, there are a bunch of items, and if you're a new player into the game, you may not pick up everything because maybe you're just learning support, or maybe you're just learning lane, or whatever. So there are items that you don't pick up all the time. And I wanted to talk about alternating current, because it's kind of popular right now, especially on someone like Scarf. Kind of benefits from it now. We have been it's pretty good on Petal. So alternating current, it's the tier 3 item. Every other basic attack deals 70% of your crystal power as bonus damage, and then it has 60% crystal damage and plus 65 attack speed, and it builds out of the Blazing Salvo and Heavy Prism. So it's great on people like Vox, Petal.
Yeah, 1.17 it got a buff, didn't it?
I believe so.
1.17 it got a buff, and Broken Myth got a very slight nerf, I believe, is what happened. What happened with the buff on alternating current is they lowered the CP it gave a little bit, and they buffed the attack speed it gave.
Yeah.
And that is actually really helpful with champions like Petal, who their basic attacks are so key to their kit, because they're moving their minions or something like that. And then for Scarf, who getting those basic attacks up raises up your passive, which chunks down tanks like none other. So it's really popular because it allows you to kite while still laying down effects and passives and autos.
Yeah, you used to not see a lot of people pick it up because of the damage dealt off your crystal power. So you would usually want to pick up a crystal power item first and then get alternating current. But I think with the attack speed increase and how good attack speed is at the moment, like, this is just a better item to get, and then build like your Frostburn or your Eve or something like that.
It gets picked up a lot on Scarf because building into that alternating current right off the bat, you build into the attack speed at first. It allows you to farm so much better in the early game, which of course makes it possible for you to buy your full build earlier.
And you said you don't play Ringo, but it is pretty good on CP Ringos as well.
It is vital on a CP Ringo. It's vital on a CP Ringo. If you're playing CP Ringo without it, then you're
playing it wrong.
You have a problem.
So yeah, check this out for any crystal carries. Like, give it a try on someone else if you're just seeing if you
Give it a try on Rona.
On Rona,
You will have a lot of fun with Alternating Current, Eve of Harvest, Broken Myth, and then just some tank items, and you'll have a blast of a time. It's a late game build. You'll struggle in the early game a little bit, but you'll max your jump, which is your A, I think. And then you'll also max it's a toss-up between your B or your ultimate. It depends on the enemy team comp. But you'll jump in half their health, and then you'll execute them with the remainder of your abilities.
Oh, I like that. See, Rona is the person I don't play enough of, so I need to learn Rona and CP Rona right now. Like, crazy. Alternating.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm sorry. My off-meta bug is...
Oh, I know. That's great. I think you have to play off-meta stuff because the game... It's the same game over and over again. That's always the challenge with MOBAs. Although they are highly addicting games because you can do off-meta stuff. You can try out different builds. You can just see what works. And then if you lose, you're like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't my fault. Let me try it again. And it's a constant cycle of over and over again.
That's why I love watching Team Secret, because they're not afraid to pull that out in such a high elo.
Yeah, sure. So that's Alternating Current. We'll probably go over some more random item here on more episodes, especially with the rumors of other items to come in these upcoming patches. Then the last thing before we get out of here is a little forum static.
Forum static.
So this is a good one for after coming off of all these chests and these quests and things. I saw someone post in the forums about the need for ranked rewards. So you said you came in at season 2. We get these resets every 4 months, and then you start over again. All you get from it is a little picture, a trophy that you can see that you might have tweeted out, and that's it. You can't even click on other people right now and look at their trophies. So this person threw up the idea, maybe after the season you get some sort of chest now that's like, hey, you made it this far, you get 10 cards. You made it that far, you get 11 cards. Or you get a special skin for anyone that's this tier and above, or a color tint or something like that. What do you think about that?
I don't like the skin idea. That could cause divisions between tiers. Obviously, I'm part of TeamBeta, and our goal is to unite the tiers. To kind of play together and understand that everyone starts at the bottom. And it's our job, as we made it to the top, to help those below us. Each and every one of us at a higher elo had someone who really helped us along the way. And so I don't like that idea. It kind of sets up this I'm better than you. Look what I have.
Okay, sure, fair enough.
I do think awarding what rank you are should happen. I think one of the simplest ways they could do this would be removing the reset all the way to unranked. If you're a certain elo, they shouldn't reset you all the way back to unranked. If you're VG, maybe they should reset you to a tier 5 or tier 6. That would be one way that you could give higher ranked elo players a boost to getting back up to that VG gold again.
Okay, something like Hearthstone does that. If you've made it so far in that month, you don't have to climb as far.
Hearthstone does do that, and they also do giving out cards or chest based on how far you made it. And that would be also really simple to just award that sort of thing. And that way people can use rank to help grind towards those tier 3 skins.
Because this person said There's not a lot of difference. If you like playing the game, and maybe you made it to the rank you were last season, unless you're really try-harding to get another tier ranked, it means nothing. Like, you might as well just play casuals or play Battle Royale. Like, why, if you just enjoy the game, like, why have the added stress of people getting mad at you in ranked?
If you're just here to have fun, there's not much purpose behind ranked for you. Besides that, people will think you're cool.
Right.
I guess.
But no one can see it, so it doesn't matter right now.
Well, they can see it in their friends list.
I guess, yeah.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, there's really not that much incentive right now. Overall, I think the whole UI of the game needs improvement. Like, for example, guild leaders, they can see when the last time you played a game was, but there's no way to set, like if you have people that help you run the guild. I know this was a problem. Like, if the guild leader takes a vacation for a week or 2 weeks, there's no one who can run the guild in his stead in the actual game.
That's true, yeah.
And because he's the only one with permissions. And then it also can get pretty messy when you have veterans just inviting people out of the blue, and then the guild leader's like, how did you get here? So I really think guild and team UI really needs improvement. I think their chat system and their play next and all that are really pretty top tier. I agree that they don't have chat in the actual game.
No, I like that, yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than playing League and having your top laner say you're a horrible support in the bottom lane. And then they're dying all the time and they're blaming you when you're halfway across the map. It's just not something that you need.
No.
So yeah, I think they're just gonna keep pumping out those improvements. They've shown that they're very devoted to every aspect of their game, which is something I really appreciate about them. They devote time to the community. They devote time to their esports scene. They devote time to their in-game systems. Like, we just got this whole new chess system.
Yeah.
And they definitely release those skins and new champions. And they listen to us. Like, we've been asking for new roams for a while, and now we're getting Lance and Lyra. And it's always good to be part of a community of players for a company that actually cares.
Yeah, like with Gibbs saying farewell, and everyone got upset about the community, and then they went and added more info into that community tab in the game, and that was a good first step and something that they should have did a long time ago. But they are a small team.
Yep, and then Playoff Beard posted that wonderful video, that send-off video. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
but
I did.
That's just really classy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't include the Gibbs thing in the notes. I forgot to mention it, but I think some of the stuff he said was truthful, and some of the stuff I've had him on before, and we've talked, and some stuff you just get upset at the game. Like, after a while, sometimes you feel like
you can get pretty salty, and it's time to take a break. When you get salty, go take a vacation, go build a goat shed.
And there you go. Go back to school, go something like that.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, yeah, on the rewards, if you have any other thoughts on that, like, there's a link in the show notes here, so check out the forums. Always a good place to find other people that just want to talk about the game and have opinions. Like you said, very opinionated, and spend a lot of time on the forums, and that's what forums are for.
Exactly, that's what they're for.
Well, that's going to do it for episode 102. V, thanks for joining me. This was fantastic.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Again, where can people find you, get in touch? On Twitter? Is that the best place?
On Twitter, you will definitely get a hold of me at Vystirch, which would be Vystirch.
Cool. And I'll include a link for everyone in the description here, so they can just click on that, make it a little easier. And then Shatter the Vain's on Twitter at Shatter the Vain. Website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube version. I And yeah, anyway, so any way you want to watch, listen, share the show, it's all there. And then the Facebook page / Shatter the Vain, usually share news and other images, fan arts that I come across there. That'll do it. Back with episode 103. Probably talk more live championships, NA and EU, next week. So take care.
Shatter the Vain.
Let's get this over with.